What's going on, sports fans? I'm Mark Palos. Tonight, we start the sports party at the Mayo Civic Center, where today, 28 teams played 14 games to decide which one conference reigns supreme, with the Hiawatha Valley League and the Three Rivers Conference squaring off in the 4th annual HVL TRC Showdown. We will start with the clash of the Titans. 3rd-ranked Caledonia taking on 2nd-ranked Lake City in a matchup featuring 3 D1 players. Future UNI Panther Nathan Heisey set the tone early, pulling up from the logo to give Lake City the early lead. Later, more Heisey. I cannot stress how improved he is. Again from long range, Lake City up 10, but Caledonia is battle-tested. QB1 Noah King takes this one through the trees for the deuce. Then later, check this one out. How about another working against his AAU teammate Reed Gassner? Noah gets the and one, Caledonia down 3. That's when the fireworks started. Check this out. Off the steal, Austin Klug. Eli King throws it down. Caledonia now back in front, but Mr. Heisey would have his response. Next possession, he works the give and go with Carson Maskey. Heisey couldn't do that a year ago, but it was Caledonia who would score the upset. This is Austin Klug laying it in. He is a special player. Caledonia scores the upset 69-64. Next, a great matchup in the exhibition hall, pitting the Stewartville Tigers of the HVL against PEM. Final minute, Bulldogs down 1. They turn to their stud, Blake Herber. Crafty layup. PEM up 1. Next possession, Stewartville needs a bucket. Will Cheddar calls for the ball. He's fouled in the post. It is a 1-point game with 3 seconds left. Ice in his veins, the future D1 player sinks the first free throw, going over 1,000 career points. Next free throw, buckets, which would lead to this. Last second shot for PEM. He throws it up. It's online, but it's long. Stewartville escapes with one for the HVL, 61-60. Now to the girls' side, undefeated Dover Iota out of the Three Rivers Conference, taking on a scrappy Stewartville Tigers girls team. And Dover Iota's Kylie Lacey told everyone in the building she's got no limit on her range. DE up 3. Later, the Tigers respond. State volleyball champ Lily Welch with the putback for Stewtown. Tigers up 1. A few moments later, great touch pass from Lindsay Field to Mackenzie Mentlick there for the layup, but Stewartville would end DE's perfect season. Maya Peterson hits the 3. Stewartville wins for the HVL 55-50. Also on the girls' side, the Goodhue Wildcats making some noise up in AA, taking on the TRC's Caledonia Warriors. This one was all Wildcats from the jump first half. Brooke Buck cuts to the bucket, lays it in. Wildcats up 15. Still in the first, Goodhue's Tori Miller with a nice move in the post to get open. She lays it in. Goodhue is up 22-5. Later in the first, the Wildcats with defense turning it into offense. Annika Schaefer takes it the distance. Goodhue beats down Caledonia 66-19. Next, the marquee matchup of the day games. Undefeated Lourdes taking on St. Charles in a matchup of 2 teams that can get up and down the floor. First half, the Eagles, they turn defense into offense. Colin Mead, one-man fast break, throws down the hammer, lands on his face. But a few possessions later, there's more Mead. This time, he drives baseline. Great body control. Eagles go up 7, but St. Charles has a sniper. His name, Cooper Vaughn, pulling up from well beyond NBA range. That's a 3. Then later, he hits the defense with the hezzy. Takes it to the rack, all the way to the rack. St. Charles beats Lourdes 92-84. Over to the girls' side, the Comets of Khasan Manorville of the HVL taking on the Bulldogs of PEM. And we'll pick it up in the first half. Bulldogs, they are down 4, but cutting into the deficit. Lauren Rott lays it in off the glass. PEM down 2. A few moments later, the Comets get those points back as Brianna Holla cleans up the offensive glass, but again, the Bulldogs go to work. Again, freshman Lauren Rott, that's a bucket, but the Comets, too much today. Ellie Bigelow lays it in. The Comets win for the HVL 58-44. Back to the boys' side. Good matchup in the morning between Lewis and Altura and Kinyawanamingo first half. The Cardinals go to work. Gunnar Reed goes up through the contact. He gets the bucket to go. Later, the Knights on the comeback. Layden Narrison, he's open at the top of the key. That's buckets. KW looking good. Still in the half, Riley Horn gets out in transition. He lays it in for KW as they took a 1-point lead, but the Cards would get the win for the Three Rivers. Charlie Kazarowski lays it in. Cards win 79-77. Back to the girls. Zambroda Mazeppa going for win number 5 on the year, taking on the TRC's Falcons of Fillmore Central. In the early going, it was ZM's Raylan Stiller getting off to a white-hot start. First connecting there for 3, then on the next possession. How about one more? Stiller, another 3 as ZM raced to a 27 advantage, but Fillmore Central's Emma Breitsprecher tunnel vision to the basket. She goes coast to coast, but ZM too much for the Falcons. Nice move by Allie Hunstead. She's a baller. Cougs win 58-32. Back to the boys. Wabasha Kellogg, Three Rivers taking on the HVL ZM Cougars. First half, Cougs start out on fire. Anthony Solkowski, Brock Fredrickson, that's a 3. Then a few moments later, Willie Holm, he's going to pass for the alley-oop, but it goes in. That puts ZM up 2. After that, though, it was all Falcons. Great drive and dish from WK. Max Bergen lays it in. Then later, Luke Bergen, here he is, strong finish in traffic, weight room as TRC. Wabasha Kellogg Falcons win this one 65-51. Next, interesting matchup. Byron Bears girls team taking on Southland out of the Three Rivers Conference. First half, the Bears had it going. Great seal off in the post. Sasha Vanderpool, 2 points to Byron. Southland had no problem scoring, though. However, it's Lexi Smith dialing one in from beyond the arc. Still in the half, Vanderpool again goes to work in the post. Another seal off, another bucket. Then a little bit later, it's more Byron. Emma Stork, that's a 3. Byron wins for the HVL 54-40. Also, Crescent out of the TRC taking on Pine Island out of the HVL. Earlier in the day, first half, the Lancers started out hot. Big Josh Kurska pulls up from the corner. Crescent up 3. A few minutes later, PI strikes back. Great cut from Will Warnicki. Panthers staying in it. Later in the half, the Lancers out in transition. Isaac Peterson lays it in. Crescent up 5, but Pine Island would battle back. Carter O'Reilly sinks a 3, also the game winner. The HVL gets a win. Pine Island wins 59-58. The Chatfield Gophers out of the TRC trying to strike back for the conference, taking on the HVL's Cannon Falls Bombers. First half, Gophers looking to add to their lead on the second effort. It's Jaden Zimmerman. Here she is. That's the deuce. Chatfield up 12. Later, Cannon Falls trying to get back in it. Nice floater in the lane from Michaela Bowen. Cannon Falls down 10 later. Who says the bank isn't open on Saturday? Zimmerman kissing it off the glass. That's a 3. Chatfield wins 56-42 for the TRC. Back to the exhibit hall. The Goodhue Wildcats of the HVL taking on the Southland Rebels out of the TRC once again. First half, the Rebels grabbed an early lead. Matt Mueller lines up a corner 3, nothing but the bottom. Later, though, Goodhue's QB1 has the answer, Sam Opsel. That's a 3, long range, but the Rebels wouldn't go away quietly. Watch Nicholas Bowe bully his way to the basket. But the Wildcats, they have a good team. Connor O'Reilly scores on the second effort. Goodhue remains undefeated. They win 51-42. And last but certainly not least, the first game of the day, Pine Island girls taking on Rushford Peterson out of the Three Rivers. Second half, this one was all Panthers. Check out the crafty layup from PI's Noel Douglas. Panthers up 18 still in the half. Pine Island not resting on their laurels. Bailey Kennedy on the second effort. PI's up 20. A little bit later, the Panthers get out on the break. Kennedy feeds it to Krista Holzer. She lays it in. Pine Island, the HBL wins 61-29. So, when the dust settled at the Mayo Civic Center, it is the HBL that reigns supreme, winning 9 of the 14 games to take home conference supremacy. A great event downtown. Now to Division II football in the national semifinals. Minnesota State blows out 8th-ranked Slippery Rock 58-15. They now advance to the national championship where they will face 20th-ranked West Florida. Kickoff is next Saturday at 2 p.m. in McKinney, Texas. In Division III, the Johnnies, their bid to make it to the national championship is over. They lose a heartbreaker to UW Whitewater 35-32. If you called in a score, I'm sorry it did not show up on the bottom. I did a lot of work. Barrett, she can attest. I ran into the studio right before.
You did.
That's why I was out of breath in the intro and I stumbled.
You didn't sound like it. You didn't sound
We're
like
going to get those online, so.
I think you just single-handedly pulled off a mini sports extra.
That was. I mean, 14 games. We say we're the best in local sports. That's why. There was a big event downtown. We were there for every game.
That's right.
No one else in the media was. No one else.
Mark Paulos was there.
We are the best.
Thanks, Mark.